Let's hear it for revolutions, because they bring change. They move the human race forward. Revolutions happen when a group of people see an empty space that needs filling, a wrong that needs righting, a chance to rewrite the future. There's a revolution that's happening right now, today, and it's changing everything. Technology is changing. Everything and everyone is connected, all the time, everywhere. Business is changing. It's becoming a platform for change, where companies do well by doing good. Work is changing, with new skills, new demands, and new opportunities for all. And with all that change, people are changing, getting empowered, inspiring others, blazing new trails. Salesforce is for Trailblazers. People who look right past the status quo, see what ought to be, and then build it. For over 20 years, we've focused on one simple, most important thing: your success. Helping bring things together that belong together. Trailblazers know that for each one of us to succeed, we all have to succeed together. Learn the skills of the future together. Create a better world together. And together, we'll define this revolution and discover the Trailblazer in all of us. This is why we come together each year. Welcome home. Welcome to Trailhead DX.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome co-founder and Chief Technology Officer, Salesforce, Parker Harris.
All right! Woo! Woo! Wow, they're still pouring in here. We got a full packed house in here. We've got overflow rooms downstairs. I'm sorry if you're not in the main room. If you're downstairs, welcome, and welcome to everyone online. This is Trailhead DX 2019. You guys ready to rock? And the theme of today is, of course, about learning. It's about innovating. It's about integrating. It's about creating empowered trailblazers out of all of you online. Empowered trailblazers to change the world together with Salesforce. Trailblazers like David and Abhilasha. Trailblazers like you. Now, we're going to show you a lot of technology today. A lot of exciting new things, and I hope you get excited. When you get excited, I want you to tweet. We're doing something new. We're doing live tweeting during the show. If you tweet #CodeGoals, #TDX19, we're going to put them up on the show, and we're going to talk about them. So please tweet. What are you excited about? What are you excited about learning? What are you going to do after this show ends? But it's not over. We're just beginning. In case you didn't know, this is the main keynote. If you're in the wrong place, I'm sorry, but this is the main keynote, 10 a.m. today. Later today, we're going to talk about Salesforce loves DX. I love DX. I hope you love DX. It's even better. Learn more this afternoon. Make sure you give back, too. We can build backpacks here in Moscone West, giving back, future-ready build kits. And I hope you don't get too tired. If you do, rest up a little bit, maybe around 6, because at 7 o'clock, we've got the Trailblazer celebration with Macklemore and DJ Umami. Yeah, get ready to rock. Tomorrow, we're going to open up the day. We've had these middle school students, who have been competing in this code challenge. They've been competing, and the 3 winning teams out of all those schools are going to be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm one of the judges, and we're going to judge their code. It's going to be incredible, and they're inspiring young children. They're down in the expo room tomorrow morning starting at 9. You can meet them yourself, and then in the expo room we'll do that little code challenge. And then later in the afternoon, okay, this is going to be awesome. Mae Jemison, the first woman of color in space, and Dr. Peggy Whitson, another incredible astronaut, will be interviewed by Anna Fried from Axiom. And she's going to interview them. It's going to be incredible. And if that's not enough, if you haven't had enough of us and Salesforce, you want to keep learning, I hope you spend the weekend with us because we have a boot camp May 31st to June 2nd. You can join us for far more. But first, let me thank all of you. You know, we went on the road, all of us, and took this keynote on the road before we did it today. And there's a picture of me there and a bunch of the keynote team, and you helped us. You Trailblazers helped us create this keynote. You are part of everything we do, not just this keynote, the technology we create, the customer success platform. You are part of it, and I just want to thank you for the energy and everything you've given back to us, and we want to give it back to you today. But look at how big this community is. 6 million, over 6 million developers. Over 6 million of you in 240 developer groups in over 50 countries. We have gone global. I mean, those are huge, huge numbers. Incredible. And together, look what we've done. Well, yes, Salesforce, we love to say you're the fastest company to 10 billion. That's great. But what we actually really love is together, we've done some amazing things. Fortune changed the world list. People, #1 top 50 companies that care. Most sustainable companies from Barron's and world's most innovative companies from Forbes. Incredible, incredible. And we did it when when I met Mark many years ago, we started with these core set of values. That's what has guided us the entire way. In 1999, people didn't trust credit card numbers on the internet. They definitely didn't trust your customer list on the internet, but together, we have prized trust as the top value. We uphold it together in our Ohana and make sure that trust is #1. And then we make our customers successful. That's the second most important. Nothing's more important other than trust than making our customers successful, and we do that with innovation. And finally, equality for all. And we've had an additional conversation at Salesforce when we think about where technology is going and what it's doing to the world and what it could do to these values. We created the Office of Ethical and Humane Use because technologies like AI are incredibly powerful, and we can do wonderful, good things for our shared customer base. But maybe AI could be used in the wrong way. And so we want to have those conversations and those decisions are happening in that Office of Ethical and Humane Use. And together, as you know, we are more than just a company, we're more than just a community. That together we can do more. The business is the greatest platform for change. You know, #1 for me is helping students, like the students you'll meet tomorrow. I volunteer at a local school called Visitation Valley Middle School. We need to help the future generation. I hope that all of you'll have local public schools in your neighborhoods, every one of you. If you haven't gone and knocked on the door, go knock on the door and go help them. They need your help. It's also about equal pay and equal rights, equal opportunity, and of course, the environment. And so all of you can join us and do more for the world. Visit P1 today. It's pledge 1%, but we made it simple for you. P1.today to get involved. Please help us. Now, you guys are all Trailblazers. You know that. I love you guys. I really do. You are all customer innovators. You're taking the technology that we build at Salesforce, and you're innovating in your communities, in your companies. And through that innovation, you are leaders in those communities and your companies. You're leading the way, and you're paving a path to the future that we're building together. And we're building that future, of course, on what we call the Customer Success Platform. In 1999, for those of you who were with me back then, I'm sure some of you were, it was just that little sales cloud up at the top. But since then, 20 years later, we just had our 20th anniversary. We had sales and service and marketing, engagement, integration all around the Customer Success Platform because the expansion of how do we connect with our customers, how do we understand our customers, and how do we create a better place for all of them, better experience for all of them. But it's not just the technology that Salesforce creates. We also have incredible partners, and some of those partners are here today. Partners like Apple. If you go down in the expo, you're going to see some incredible mobile applications. Many of those mobile applications run on iOS, and we have a new Salesforce SDK. If you're going to program in Swift and you want to build a mobile app, on the Apple platform that hits Salesforce, we have an SDK for you. If you want to build applications that are industry verticals and tap into the power of Einstein and Watson, you can leverage technology from IBM. If you want to actually help your customer understand their customers on the web with Google Web Analytics, we have that partnership with Google, or the Productivity Suite, G Suite, fully integrated. And finally, through our partnership with AWS, I'm so excited to announce this final new offering. How many of you have workloads on AWS? Your customers have workloads. I know more and more companies do. What we've done with AWS is really cool. If you have those workloads, maybe those workloads could help you understand the customers, and you'd like to connect those workloads to the customer success platform. How are you going to do that? Well, maybe you did that, and it was a lot of hard work. What we're doing is we're giving you that out of the box with something called Lightning Private Connect, which is going to be pilot in the winter release, which will allow you to privately connect your Amazon workloads to the Salesforce Customer Success Platform super easily. It's going to be really amazing. Yeah, you're going to love that. But that's not all. Maybe you don't realize it, but we're in the middle of the summer release. You don't have it yet. Most of you don't have it yet. Salesforce has it because we always go first. We call that R0, release 0. That was last weekend. R1's the next weekend, R2. We're going to roll out that summer release to you. And I know that you're excited about all the technology we're giving you. Things like, how many of you like notifications that you get, but you want to create your own notifications? We're giving you that with something called Notification Builder. Really, really cool. If you're on the Heroku platform and you're building applications in healthcare and you want to have them be HIPAA compliant, we have a new offering called Shield Connect. And we talked a lot about mobile. Check out that Swift SDK, but also check out our new mobile apps. Check out Lightning on mobile. It's incredible. There's so much here, can't talk about it all. Over 300 features in the new release. So visit sforce.co/summer19 to learn more. Now, as the co-founder and CTO, I feel like it's my job to stay ahead of all of you as much as possible. It's hard because you guys go fast. But I try to stay ahead of you in technology to see where the world's going. We did that in '99. We created the App Exchange. We realized I can't build all the apps for you. We needed those partners to build apps. So we called it the App Store, but then we gave that URL to Steve Jobs nicely. We called it the App Exchange. It's a true story. I'll tell you another time. We gave you clicks, not code. That's super important to me. I didn't want anyone to ever have to write code. But then I realized sometimes you're going to need to write some code. So we gave you the power of a programmatic platform with Apex and Visualforce. And then we added social. We kept going on and on and on. We're always trying to stay ahead. But the world doesn't sit still. It keeps moving. The world of technology is constantly moving. It's moving because we're all connected. Everything's becoming IP-enabled. Everything's becoming connected, and consumers and customers have this expectation of that connection. A customer of ours, Adidas. How many of you have a pair of Adidas? I have quite a few myself. If you go in, years ago, my connection with Adidas is I'd go into the Adidas store and I'd buy a pair of sneakers, and there'd be some in a retail store, and that's how I knew Adidas. But now how I know Adidas is through my mobile app. 60% of the revenue of Adidas is actually on the web and on mobile. That's incredible, not in the physical brick and mortar stores. And they're connecting to me through social. They're constantly trying to figure out how can they connect with me through all these different channels. Another customer story, really, really cool company, Telstra in Australia, biggest telco in Australia. Australia's a big country, but it's also very vast, right? And they have a lot of cell towers all through the country, and they want to make sure for their customer experience that those cell towers are all working, but it's hard to get to them all. So what do? They're leveraging drones. This is really cool. Leveraging drones, they're leveraging AI, and they're leveraging image recognition to fly around and check on the cell towers. Much more efficient than sending human beings out, and check to see, is there damage? And if there is damage, they'll proactively fix them. Now, how do companies like Adidas and Telstra actually deliver these connected experiences? It gets more and more complex because there's more and more partners that they have to deliver those experiences to their customers. Let's take an example of a car company. How many, do you guys own a car, ever bought a car? Anyone here? Of course you have. Actually, that's changing, but we'll talk about that another day. But when I go buy a car, there's actually a whole web of relationships that that car company has to deliver you that car. It's not just the dealership. It's the safety regulators they work with, make sure those airbags work. It's the technology providers, if I want to know if my iPhone, does it work in the car or not? It should. All of these different, parts manufacturers, you want to make sure it's all the right original parts. That's a lot of work for one company to deal with all these partners. And then as the world becomes more connected, consumers actually have this expectation, not just to trust that car company, but actually to have transparency of all those connections so that they can have that trust. Here's an example of trust. I have twin boys that are 19. They're about to go to college. I could buy them a new car, but that's not the right thing to do. I could buy them a used car. And if I buy them a used car, I'm going to buy it certified pre-owned, because I like to know that when they're off in college, it's going to work, it's not going to break down, it'll be safe, and that they kind of stand behind it. But I want to trust through that network. I want to see in that network that I can trust it. And so how are they going to do that? It's really hard, and the web of suppliers and partners keeps increasing. It's really hard for that car company. So how can technology help solve that? Well, there's a new technology out in the world. Everybody's heard of it. It's called blockchain. It's kind of the buzzword, like blockchain, blockchain. And most people think about blockchain, they think about Bitcoin. They think about currency, that I trust this currency of where it's been. But blockchain is the underlying technology that drives it. And what is blockchain, and why can it help a car company deliver a better experience, a better trusted experience buying a used car? Well, first of all, through that network of partners, every partner knows, for example, if that car has ever been repaired. It's distributed. Blockchain is just distributed. So if repair happens, everybody knows. So that's a good level of trust. But that's not enough, because blockchain is also verified. How do they know that that was a valid repair, that the repair completed, that no one's cheating? Okay, that's good. Blockchain can give you that. And then how do they know that nobody tampered with the information, that nobody actually went in and modified anything? Well, blockchain is what's called immutable. You can't change it. Once you write it, that's it. So it's secure. So blockchain is an incredible technology that could help that car company actually have a distributed network that's verified and secure to deliver that incredible experience. Sounds easy, right? All of you ready to go? All you got to do is just implement blockchain. Okay, how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to go create a shared data model. You're going to agree on the rules and permissions, create an engagement layer and user experience, integrate, blah, blah, on and on and on. Your eyes are glazing. You're like, okay, that's never going to happen, right? But what I love at Salesforce, what I love doing is take complex technologies like blockchain, incredibly powerful technologies like blockchain, and put them in your hands and make them easy. Make them super, super easy so that you don't have to have this obstacle of learning. You have the ease of use of Salesforce with the power of blockchain. And that's why I'm so excited here today to announce Salesforce Blockchain. It's the fast and easy way. Yeah. It's the fast and easy way to build partner networks. And you know what that's going to do? This whole show is about empowering Trailblazers. We're going to make all of you blockchain experts. That's right. That's pretty cool. So what is it? Well, are you going to write code to build a blockchain? No, this is Salesforce. You're going to build it with clicks. And how are you going to do all your workflow and search and everything? Well, it's built into the Lightning platform, so you have all that. All the skills you already have that you're already empowered with apply now to blockchain. And then, of course, blockchain is distributed. So you're like, how am I going to actually support a distributed network? And what happens if my partner or a node on that network actually isn't on the Salesforce platform, God forbid? It might happen. Well, we allow you to easily connect partners. We allow you to actually run nodes. We have technology that will make it super easy. You can run your own node on the network. Sounds awesome, right? Okay, is it really, really clear, right? Well, maybe not 100% clear. That's okay. So now what I want to do is have someone who can explain it even better than me to give you a demonstration. Leah McGowan here, welcome, Senior Director of Trailhead.
Hello, Trailhead DX. I am so thrilled to be here to share with you Arizona State University's vision for using blockchain to create a digital, trusted student transcript. Now, I'm not going to do this alone. I'm very honored to have with me on this amazing journey Renee Winkelmeyer, who's going to run us through this amazing demo. So, the question is, are you ready to have a block party? Yes. All right, so here we are in setup, and we're going to go ahead and type in block. And you're going to see that there's a new option available called Blockchain Manager. Now, this is essentially a builder that allows you to build your blockchain network. Now, you can see that we already created one called Student Transcript. So when we click into it, let's go in and see how it was created. The first thing you see, the name and the description, as with most applications. The next part is where we define who we want to collaborate with. Now, this is where you define your partners, and you add your partners. In blockchain terminology, they are called nodes. They are nodes on the network. And here's the thing. Most of ASU's nodes are other universities, but it could be any entity that wants access to that blockchain, that trusted digital student transcript. And the nodes don't have to be on Salesforce platform. They can be on AWS, they can be on Google Cloud, but they must be defined in this network. Okay, we're good? We're gonna keep it moving. So now we wanna define what data we're gonna share. So the next part is creating your blockchain data model. Ours is relatively simple. We have student information and student activity. Now, defining your data model is just like defining a Salesforce data model. You have your objects, your fields, your relationship, most of the stuff that many of you know. But there's one difference. You heard Parker say this earlier. This is a distributed system. So there you see distributed objects. Blockchain is built on a distributed architecture. That means all of the nodes in the network have their own copy of the data, their own copy of the blockchain, okay? So here's where some of the magic comes in. Once you define your blockchain data model, it's exposed to you as external objects. Therefore, you get to work with it like you would work with any Salesforce objects. You have your page layouts, process builder, quick actions, all of those great declarative tools that are built right into the platform. Now, behind the scenes, that's a whole different story. There's a lot of complexity. Remember, this is a distributed architecture, so we have to sync every time a block is added onto the blockchain. But here's your gift. You don't need to worry about that. You're welcome. We take care of it for you, so you can focus on building your blockchain application. Speaking of application, Renee, let's jump into the ASU application. So here we are on the contact page looking at Sophia's information. She's a student that just transferred to, ASU from Sunrise Community College. Now, because ASU and Sunrise Community College are on the same blockchain network, we can see all of the courses she took at Sunrise. That's the blockchain right there, and each of those records are a block on the blockchain. Now, you can see here, it's all there. We can simply add a record to that blockchain declaratively by using a quick action, clicking on Add Course Credit. Now, when we do this, Renee's gonna say, she took environmental science, she got a B, and 4 credits. Now, watch. When we hit save, I want you to look at the status. The status says pending. Why? Because behind the scenes, all of those nodes have to verify that block before it's added to the blockchain. That is one of the ways that blockchain builds that verification and promotes trust at a whole new level. Now, once that block has been added to the blockchain, it's immutable. It cannot be changed. It would be like trying to take a chicken nugget and turn it back into a chicken. It's not gonna happen, okay? It's just not happening. So it's immutable. But let's just say that someone got access, low-level access. We're talking ones and zeros down to the wire assembly language, bits and bytes. And they were able to attempt to tamper with the record. It would not verify. That verification, that census amongst all the nodes is key to making sure that data always stays valid and verified. So to simulate that, we have this simulator that we created just for this demo to show you. So let's imagine if we could look at the block, this is what it would look like here. We have all of the field values. Now you notice the hash value at the bottom. That's one of the secret sauces to blockchain. The hash is an encrypted representation of the field values. So if I attempt to change any of those field values, it will throw the hash off. They won't match, and then it will be all bad. So let's look at that. Let's try to change the grade B to an A. Not that anybody in here or in the news lately would do anything like that, right? I'm just saying, just the messenger. And then we go ahead and try to validate that. Womp, womp, red. It does not validate. And because it's not verified, it never got updated in Salesforce. So this is, once again, one of the ways that it promotes trust. And this is the level of trust you need to share a digital transcript. We want to rest assured that, 5 years from now, we're looking at the original values. So we're going to go ahead and revert that back to a B so that the hashes match. And we're back in a good place. So once again, when we see this, we can rest assured we're looking at the original values regardless of when we look at it, 5, 10 years from now. Just imagine the use cases. So now, we saw it in one node. Now that we've added this block to the blockchain, what does it look like in another node? Let's jump into Sunrise Community College. They're another node on that network who happens to also be on a Salesforce platform. So we look at there, and there's faculty app, and you see that notification. Well, we're going to click on that. And the notification comes up, and it says, there's a new student activity. There's a new block out there that was verified. Well, how did it know about it? Through Process Builder. Let's check it out. So here in Process Builder, we have a new way to start a process, blockchain event. So when it comes in, we say, all right, it's a new course credit. Then we need to notify the appropriate department. And we can use this, and you heard Parker talk about this earlier, the new custom notification feature available summer 19. So now they're going to be notified. Renee, let's click into that notification. So when we click into the notification, it brings us into Sophia's record at Sunrise. Here we can see all of the classes, coursework that she took there. And there is that course that we just added in ASU, that valid, verified block showing up there. Now, in order for it to be accepted into Sunrise, there has to be a faculty member, professor that looks over and accepts it. So, Professor Renee, please do me the honors and accept the credit. Now, a couple things happen here. When we do that, Sophia now meets 100% of the requirements she needs for her associates at Sunrise Community College. Awesome. But what else happened? Because now she has that new degree, a new block was created. So what happened in the background? All of the nodes had to verify that new block, that new record, and it's added there. That's pretty awesome. So what we just saw there is 2 nodes on the Salesforce platform accessing blockchain. But what does it look like when it's a node that's not on the Salesforce platform? I know, hard to imagine. Well, let's go see. So here we are. Sophia uses a mobile app to keep track of her student transcript. She owns that data. She wants to have access to it. So here she is, and she gets a notification. You just got a degree. I mean, who wouldn't want that message, right? So she goes ahead and clicks into it, and there she sees the course that we added at ASU for the 4 credits, as well as the new degree. Now, this app is not on the Salesforce platform. So how did it access the blockchain? By using the blockchain API, that mobile app made a call to its own node. So here, just imagine it calling out. So here we're looking at, we're gonna call it from the API, we're here at the command line. Now remember, in order to do this, you would have to be a node, trusted node on that network, and they're going to ping the endpoint to their own node. Because remember, this is a distributed system, so they have a copy of their own data. So Renee, hit it. Boom, so there it comes back. We can see all of Sophia's activities here in a beautifully formatted JSON format, ready to be consumed by any app that is in the network, okay? So if you are not on the Salesforce platform, you can access the blockchain, you can access your copy of that blockchain using the blockchain API pinging your own node. If you are on the Salesforce platform, we make it easy for you. You can access the blockchain using the blockchain data model, working with it just like you would with any other Salesforce objects. That, my friends, is blockchain made easy. So what does this mean? We just saw, you can clap, that's okay, I heard a star, y'all clap. I give you permission. So we saw the use case for higher ed. So what does it mean for other industries? Well, the possibilities are limitless. For finance, we have S&P doing it for financial audits. We also hire for IQVIA, that they're doing it for drug labeling, so that patients know when they're looking at their prescription, it has not been tampered with. And Caesars is doing it to ensure amazing customer experience for their customers, to reassure them that their tickets are legit and not fraudulent. So please check out these different sessions. Just imagine what it can do for your business. There's gonna be a blockchain keynote in this room at 1 o'clock. Come see the beautiful brains behind this amazing technology here at 1 o'clock. You know, blockchain is a game changer, and it's opening up a world of opportunities to collaborate in a trusted way. With that, back to you, Parker.
Wow. Nailed it. That was incredible. So I gave you the example of a car company, there's finance, healthcare, we saw education, but what I want to see is how all you Trailblazers use this next technology. I want to see how you get excited. Speaking of excited, how many of you have tweeted? Anyone have tweeted? Let's check it out. Who has tweeted? Hashtag code goals. Toya Tate. Building up blockchain apps is a game changer. She's excited. I hope you're excited too. All right, now is the point in the keynote when we want to go through a few different stories. A story about learning, a story about innovating, a story about integrating. But let's start with learning. An incredible story about Angela Mahoney and rad women. And the rad women are here, right? And Angela is here. All right, but you guys don't understand what this excitement's about, so let's roll the film.
It shouldn't matter what your gender is. Girls and boys should have the same opportunities. Science, math, and computers. We all have the power to create. I want to learn how to code. I have dreams of making the world a better place.
My parents always said that life isn't fair and that you have to create your own fairness.
My mom was a single mom. It could not have been easy. It was important to her to lay a foundation of, you can do it. You just have to try. Our first computer was this huge contraption, a little black screen with the green type on it, and it just blew my mind. But being a software developer is not something that I thought I could do.
The great thing about Salesforce is that they understand that diversity makes companies' outcomes much, much, much better. There's no algorithm you can run where this doesn't make sense. But only 25% of technology workers are women. African Americans and Latinos, 3%, and that's men and women.
If I had seen women represented as software developers, I think it might have called to me.
When you don't see role models, it's harder for you to see yourself in that role. You just don't think about it.
And that's what RAD is here to try and address. We wanted to see if we could find a way to successfully help teach women to code. Apex is a back-end language that's particular to the Salesforce platform.
So RAD Women stands for Radical Apex Developing Women. And we enable women to learn to code in a collaborative, safe environment in a small group so they have community.
The Trailblazer community is fantastic for our learners. We use Trailhead as homework exercises all the time. It's about building women's realization of their own self-worth to the point where they can actually do what we know they can do.
Everything is moving so fast. Technology moves fast. If you aren't learning, you could be left behind. Rad women lift you up. They've inspired me to be like them and carry on what they've started and be part of this pay it forward chain.
For that to grow into something that has impacted hundreds of women all over the world was so exciting. Learners, coaches,
Male allies,
And grads.
the Trailblazer community is incredibly kind. I see only people trying to lift each other up. We can't do anything without our mentor coaches.
they are so generous with their time, empowering others, who then empower others, who then empower others. This is what Salesforce communities do. They help each other. Coding is just about falling down, getting up, falling down, getting up.
Keep going.
I will never give up. I will never quit.
You're not alone. It's not too late.
We're gonna make so much awesome stuff. You should join us.
All right. Woo! All right, and to bring this story to life for Rad Women, please welcome Sarah Franklin, EVP Dev Relations, GM of Trailhead. Take it away, Sarah.
Thank you, Parker. I am so privileged to be here with you all today. I stand here as a woman in technology, but I'm just a regular girl from Virginia. I was raised by my mother, who was a teacher, and she was a single mother. I went to college, and I got a degree in chemical engineering, and I was one of the only women to do that at the time. And that was like 25 years ago, not dating myself, but yes. And I don't know really what gave me the courage to do that, because I didn't have a lot of role models at the time. But I just wanted one thing. I wanted to make more money than my mother could afford as a teacher, so I could give my children more opportunities than I had growing up. And fast forward to today, I also stand here as a mother of two amazing daughters. My husband's actually right over there. They're aged 5 and 15, and I look at them and I say, I want to help make the world a better place. We are staring at an equality gap in technology that is not okay. Women make up half of the population in the world, yet only 18% representation in tech. And it's worse for Hispanics, African Americans, and other underrepresented minorities, which are not on this slide, like the LGBTQ community or people with different levels of abilities. And we also face systemic problems where learning is becoming inaccessible. The cost of education is skyrocketing. People are riddled with student debt, public, private universities. And these are just some of the barriers that people face. You heard in the video with Rad Women, Kieran and everybody talking about how it's really hard to be something, to believe that you can be it, if you cannot see it. And at Salesforce, we believe that we can change this. And it starts with our platform. Our platform is so incredible because it empowers everyone to build, from no code to low code to code. If you have a computer science degree and you know how to code, that's awesome. But how do you have an entryway into this lucrative field of technology? The platform is incredible to help everyone. Yeah, I take the applause too. And at Salesforce, we have not just created this platform, we have also created an incredible, vibrant economy. You hear it today in the room. There's so much energy. There is so much opportunity being created. Over 3 million jobs being created just in the next few years. Jobs like Salesforce developer, administrator, architect, digital marketer. And these are some of the top jobs, according to Indeed, which is the #1 job site in the world. They pay great money, they're at great companies of every size, location, industry, sector, public, private, you name it. These are incredible jobs. And need I remind you, a decade ago, these jobs, they did not exist. The pace of innovation is continuing because, my friends, 60% of the jobs that our children, my 2 daughters, everyone they're gonna have, they do not yet exist. And so, we believe that it's not just our purpose to bring innovation to life. We're not going to automate people out of jobs. We are going to skill them up for the future of work, and that is why we created Trailhead. Yeah. Trailhead empowers everyone to thrive in the 4th Industrial Revolution. And what you do is you learn in-demand skills. It's not just about learning how to code. It's about learning business skills, soft skills, tech skills, whether it's Salesforce, Amazon, Google, Atlassian, GitHub, Slack. It's all on Trailhead. And it's very important to us that we have responsible creation of AI, and the team has just launched a new trail to help all of you do that together. And on Trailhead, you earn resume-worthy credentials, credentials that companies hire for. They put in their job descriptions, they filter for them. And today we have our new Marketing Cloud Developer Certification. And it's all about the connection to the opportunity. And today we have our new Trailblazer Connect. Literally, outside this keynote, we're going to have an incredible career fair and taking this program at scale around the world to connect all of you to opportunity beyond your dreams. And you're sitting here looking, you're saying, Sarah, you're missing something on this slide. Where's the fun? Well, some of you discovered it early, but today we're announcing our new app with Trail Emoji. It's super fun, empowers every single one of you to be what you can see with your skin tone, your outfit. Even, I dare say, if you look at that, that is my Trail Emoji, and it is down to the pixel level of my custom bedazzled 4-inch platform wedge heels that I am wearing on the stage here today. I know you're looking at the shoes. You're not looking at me. You just want to see the shoes. These are incredible. Look at them. We got Cody, Trailhead Flogo. Chris Duarte made these special. And this is how we are breaking down every barrier, my friends, from cost to approachability to accessibility, you name it. We're breaking down the barriers. And this is why when you look to your left, look to your right in this room, you see a representative population of what we see outside. It's the most inclusive Trailblazer community. But we can't do this alone. We need all of you to help, and we need incredible organizations like Rad Women to help us too. So can you please give a warm Trailhead DX welcome to Angela Mahoney, co-founder of Rad Women. I think you have more fans here than everybody. Everybody loves you. Angela, can you share with everybody why you think it's so important to change the ratios in tech?
Absolutely. I'm very passionate about this. Changing the ratios of gender in tech, diversity in tech, cultural diversity in tech is really important for a variety of reasons. One of the principal ones is if you think about your basic customer base, it's going to be diverse. If you can build products, if you can promote the services that are going to meet the majority of the people out there, it's good for business. It's good for all of us, whether we're shareholders, employees, or more importantly, if we're customers. We want products designed for us. With Rad Women and our focus on getting more gender equality, we feel that that also meets the needs because if you look at research, companies that have more women in management positions outperform the rest. Why wouldn't you want that?
I want that, yeah.
And then like you, like Sarah, I'm a mother of 2 daughters, middle schoolers, and I want them to be able to see other role models as they grow up. The more women we can get into management positions, the more role models we have for the generation behind us as we scale up our current set.
Okay, so everybody here wants to help. What can everybody here do to help us in this problem?
How much time do we have?
Just 30 seconds, literally.
I speak quick. Well, first and foremost, we're always interested in getting more Rad Women coaches. A developer, male or female, we love male allies of any level of development skill is welcome. I want to talk to you. We always have a wait list of learners, and if you've got a couple of hours a week, you can really do some good in this world. If you don't have that kind of time, Volunteer in schools. If you know a child, that's all you need to volunteer. And I'm guessing most people here know at least one child. Volunteer in their schools. When you look at girls, middle school is when they start to self-select out. That's really young. We've lost them by high school and by college. So consider giving a couple of hours, a year even, to a school. Show up, be present, and just show them that you care. And finally, over the next 2 days of TDX, be aware. When you walk into different sessions, look around, listen, just look at the faces that are out there. Yeah, please. I think we're all in different parts of our journeys of awareness of different levels of diversity, and that's totally fine. You don't have to be the best, but just be aware that you are on a journey and see what you can do to amplify others' voices.
All right, Angela Mahoney, everybody, thank you. All right, so we are here to change the ratios in tech, and Parker, back to you.
Oh, yeah. Woo! Sarah, awesome. And Angela, that was such a compelling story. Talk about empowered to learn, empowered to teach. You guys are an inspiration. And I hope everyone else will be empowered to do the same. So once you've learned, what's the next step? Well, the next step is innovation, which is what I know and love. And to learn a little bit more about innovation, there's an incredible story with a company called Boston Scientific and a Trailblazer. Susanna's right here. And I want to tell a little bit more about it with a film.
Okay, so I'm a big coffee drinker. I also have a dog named Parker. I love learning new things. I love practicing. I think that goes back to my musical roots. Boston Scientific is a global medical devices company, and we help make new scientific discoveries through medical devices that help improve patients' lives. I believe that technology has the ability to transform our quality of life, especially for the world's most vulnerable people. What I value and love about the Salesforce platform is that it's accessible to everyone. You don't need to feel like just because you didn't finish college or just because you studied music like me, that you can't achieve whatever you want to inside this ecosystem.
I see Susanna as a person who pays attention to your needs, to your thoughts, and she is able to convert, those ideas into something real.
So I started out as a Salesforce admin. I started to dip my toes into a little bit of development. A year ago, there were only around 250 certified technical architects in the world. And out of those 250 people, roughly only 5% were women. I thought, are you kidding? There's only this many women who have done this thing.
Susanna's an architect at Boston Scientific, and she is amazing at really taking requirements that we gather from our business partners and puts it into the Salesforce technology. The Salesforce technology can then adapt to what we need.
With the app that Susanna developed, we were able to go down from 2 weeks to almost 1 day.
The amount of time saved across 5,000 sales reps can be redirected to create a new life-saving device, and that's incredible. I'm Susanna St. Germain, and I'm a Trailblazer.
Woo! And not only is she a Trailblazer, she's a graduate of Rad Women, which is incredible. And great name for your dog. I love that. All right, so to bring her story to life, please welcome Ryan Ellis, SVP Product Management, Lightning. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you, Parker. Thank you, everybody. From musician to admin to certified technical architect. What an incredible story. Thank you, Susanna, for coming and for sharing that story with us. I find it a real inspiration because my team and I are responsible for the tools and technologies that you use to build modern apps and to transform your careers. As you just saw in the film, Susanna and her team are doing amazing work. By building modern apps, they're empowering their company to create life-saving medical devices and do groundbreaking research. And they're doing this on massive scale. They're a global company with tens of thousands of employees, but they're able to move with the speed and agility of a startup. Well, my friends, how is this possible? They work closely with us to create what they call the Boston Scientific 360. They customized the customer success platform. They made it their own. And they created rich user experiences for their employees and for their providers. And this saved them a lot of time and money, which they could plow back into causes that they really care about, life-saving. They've been taking advantage of many of our latest innovations in UI and in AI. And I'm so pleased to talk with you about some of them today. For example, they're using Lightning Web Components, a new UI framework that we delivered to you last December. It gives you the ability to create modern apps using web standards. Now you can use things like modern JavaScript with ES6, JavaScript classes and modules, and web standards like custom element. And why does this matter? Because you can be more productive than ever. For all of those of you who know JavaScript, this is going to feel incredibly natural to you. Thank you. The feedback from the community has been amazing so far, and I love to hear it and read your tweets. Please keep them coming. In addition, you're going to be able to build apps that are blazing fast, and that's because there's no more JavaScript abstractions getting in the way. You're running as close to the bare metal as possible. And best of all, Lightning Web Components are interoperable with the code you may have already written. So you can start taking advantage of this tech when and where you're ready, and still maintain your pre-existing investments. I have an amazing team. I'm so proud of them and the work that they've done over the last few years. We're just getting started, though. New in the summer 19 release, you can now use Lightning Web Components in Visualforce, which acts as a bridge into the classic experience. And you can use them in Lightning Out, so you can run them in any website. And you can also use them inside of Gmail and in Outlook via our integrations. I've loved hearing all from you. One of the most amazing things that I saw out of this launch event was within the first 3 weeks, there were over 150 community-led developer user groups all around the world that had topics specifically on this. And that's why I'm so pleased to announce the next step in our customer journey, which is that we're open sourcing Lightning Web Components. You're now going to be able to use the same framework both on and off of the Lightning platform. For example, you could use it on top of Heroku with a Node.js backend, or on any platform of your choice. You can use the same code and the same skills. And because it's open source, you can dig in deep with that code, understand the ins and outs of the framework, and optimize for it. And you can contribute back. Talk with us. Send us your ideas and your pull requests on GitHub. Help us to improve this framework, make it better for you and for all of us. We've launched a new website. It's lwc.dev. You can go and check it out on your phone. It'll get you up to speed really quickly and get you going. As you can probably tell, I love UI. I have this great team, but great apps don't just have great user experiences, they're also smart. And for that, we give you Einstein Platform Services. Now, every admin and developer, in a few clicks or lines of code, can create AI-powered apps. We recently announced Einstein Prediction Service, which gives you the ability to create a custom prediction. For example, maybe your company would like to know whether or not a customer will churn. And using our APIs, you can make that available in another external system. We're at a conference. Probably a few of you brought business cards with you. You might even trade those with a few people. Well, with Einstein Optical Character Recognition, you can scan those and upload them into your Salesforce and have new contacts immediately. And with Einstein Translation, in a single line of Apex code, you can translate any text into the language of your choice. These are just a few of the amazing innovations that we're delivering to you in UI and AI. And to bring it all to life, we've created a demo with Susanna and her team. And for that, let's please bring up our demo team with Renee and Helder. So one of the apps that Susanna and team created is a mobile app, and it's for the medical sales reps that are out in the field, and their job is to go and visit those customers and at their hospitals and see whether or not we need to reorder any inventory. And to do that, they use the Salesforce mobile app. Now, you heard Parker say a little briefly about mobile in there before. Well, this isn't the old Salesforce mobile app. This is the all-new Salesforce mobile app. It's powered by Lightning. It has new customization capabilities that you admins are going to love. And The navigation has been updated to make it mirror the desktop and make it easier for you to use. So let's get into it and see how it works. Let's tap on that app launcher. And you'll see that this brings up an array of app options for me. It allows me to focus on the task at hand. We're going to place an order, so let's do field orders. And again, I get a similar options from what I have on the desktop, making it easy for me to use. Let's place a hospital order. This is bringing up our first Lightning Web Component. It's using geolocation to access nearby accounts. And it's found, here we are in Moscone Hospital. That looks great. Let's go ahead and create that order. Another Lightning Web Component. And now I can use this to enter the order items. Looks like we're a little low on a few things. Now, I could try and type this in, but that would probably be a mess. So wouldn't it be easier for me just to scan? Joe, can you help me out over there? Joe's brought in a few boxes from the car and is ready to scan a few of these things here. We're going to start putting them into our cart. Definitely faster and less error-prone than me typing this in right now. We've got 2, 1 more to go. And there they are, all in our cart, just like that. This looks great. Let's go ahead and complete the order. But first, we need to get some approval. Another Lightning Web Component. Thank you. Beautiful signature, Joe. All right, and we're going to submit that order back. Now, this brings up the order detail page, but this is not the standard order detail page. New with the Lightning-powered app, you have full customization capability. Using the app builder, you can drag and drop and move things around, and you can even add those custom Lightning Web Components right here in line. So you've seen how this all works on the phone. Let's take a little trip over to the desktop and see what it looks like there. So back in the home office, the order manager's job is to review orders and approve them. And here in this Kanban view, you can see that I've got that new Moscone Hospital order. So let's go ahead and open that one up. Notice the same Lightning Web Components, this time laid out in the screen in a better way. Well, let's crack open the app builder and see what we can do. So you're probably familiar. You can use drag and drop, hide things behind tabs, move them around, make it best suited for you. But new with the Lightning-powered mobile app, I now also have conditional visibility based on form factor. So I can, for example, make a path component only show up on the desktop. You can create the right experience for the right users at the right time. All right, this looks great. Let's go back. All right, so I'm happy with this order. It looks good, but we're missing some prices there. So let's go ahead and approve it. And this is now going to do a call out to an external service that I'm running, a pricing service on AWS. And using Lightning Private Connect, it's going to bring back those prices. There they are. Looks good. We're ready to go. So Boston Scientific doesn't just have field reps in the field who are collecting orders for us. They also receive them via email with PDFs attached. So normally I might have to go and type all that in, and that can be really tedious, but we're going to do something more fun. Let's upload that PDF. We're going to open it up here. And using Einstein optical character recognition, it's scanning that document, it's mapping it to a Salesforce object and fields, and automatically creating that order for me. And boom, there it is. It's going to save you a massive amount of time with any of your manual tasks that you might have in whatever your businesses are. So this was great. You saw a lot of different Lightning Web Components coming together to create an experience for you in both the mobile and desktop. But let's take a look at the code and see how we built it. So here you are in VS Code. Code for all of you, the first time we're taking a look at VS Code. But we're using JavaScript, and this is just standard JavaScript. We're using import statements with modules, and we're also using that same syntax here with an Apex method. And down below, if you take a look at the @wire decorator, we're using that to bind that method to a JavaScript property. It's just that easy for you to be able to get a list of order items. Now let's flip over and take a look at that HTML as well. This is all standards-based as well. For example, that template tag, that's part of the custom element specification. All right, so should we get to work here? Let's make a change. Let's add a description, make that component a little bit richer. Now, in the past, how would I have done this? Well, I make the change, I'd save it, I'd deploy, it might take a little while, refresh the screen, see if I made the right change. I might have to do that a few times. It can take a little bit longer than I'd like, which is why I'm really excited to share with you one more surprise. local development. So let's see how it's going to work. Here we are side by side. On the right hand, we've got our Lightning web component we're working on. And take a good look at that URL. That's not Salesforce. That is your local machine. You could run this entirely offline if you wanted to. All right, so let's go ahead and make that change. We're going to go up here and add that. And just before we do a save, keep your eyes on the right-hand side. And boom, automatically recompiled and refreshed. Shall we do that again? Let's change JavaScript this time. All right, let's increase that zoom level, make it a little bit easier for me to see. Save. Very nice. I know my teams love this feature. I think you guys are as well. It's going to amazingly speed up your dev life cycles. All right. So, Boston Scientific, they also create apps for their customers. They want the doctors to be able to check out their inventory levels themselves. And to do that, they built a web app. Now, in the past, you might have built this using React or Angular or some other framework. But now, with Lightning Web Components open source, you can use the same framework both on and off of Lightning Platform. So let's take a look at the code here. Notice again, it's the same framework. It's the same standards-based code, very familiar for anyone who knows modern JavaScript. And that's great because it means you can reuse your skills and you can even reuse the code that you maybe were using over in Lightning Experience or in the mobile app before. Now, I could build this on any platform, but what better platform is there for me to use than Heroku? Here you can see the Heroku dashboard. And I've chosen to use Node.js for my backend. But because it's Heroku, I could choose many different backends. And to enrich my app, I've decided to have an add-on. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. It's down here, the Heroku Connect one, which allows me to bring in Salesforce data and metadata and make my app better. And I also have Heroku pipelines, which makes it easy for me to manage my app dev lifecycles with continuous integration and continuous deployment. And when my team gets busy and starts making changes, it'll automatically create those review apps for me. And in a click, I can see what they've done. It looks like they've been busy at work. They've created an entirely new navigation experience that the doctors are going to love. We're just getting started with the innovations that we have for you. Please come and visit us at our super session a little bit later today, Salesforce Loves DX. You can learn much more about Lightning Web Components open source. Come visit us in the campground and take our trail mix to learn more about how you can build modern apps fast. Back to you, Parker.
All right. Woo! Great job, Ryan. All right, I'm fired up about Lightning Web Components, and I hope you are. How many people have tweeted? Anybody tweeted in the past 15 minutes? Let's check it out. Who's tweeted? Hashtag code goals. Eric here has a tweet. More innovation, Lightning Web Components. I hope you learn more about it. It's incredible technology. It'll empower you on and off the Salesforce platform. Incredible, incredible technology. All right, we talked about learning. We talked about innovating. But now we want to talk to you about a story about integrating. And that story is with a company called Asics, incredible company. And Philip here, and the stuff he's doing at Asics. Let's take a look at the video.
Working for Asics and working on products like Runkeeper have just been an awesome experience to help people discover the thing that I love so much. I went into college to be a math major. My freshman advisor told me I had to pass one CS course. I got 100%, and I was like, maybe I should go into computer science. This might be my thing. A lot of people think of developers as like people who sit down and just write code. Our job every day is to come in and try and figure out how can we take what the business is trying to achieve and transform that into something that the customer can actually experience.
Asics is a fitness service company and a manufacturer of performance fitness wear.
Asics is actually a Latin phrase. It means a sound mind and a sound body.
I was a Runkeeper employee, and they acquired us. They wanted some help in the e-commerce space. Our COO came in and said, we need to migrate to this new e-commerce platform. We need you and your team to figure out how to do it. Yeah, it was definitely a small team, and we had to bring in a lot of pretty complex data, so product data, inventory data, pricing data. We realized that we didn't have the time or the resources to build it from scratch, so we all decided that we were going to learn MuleSoft to integrate all of the back-end systems that Asics has with Commerce Cloud.
It was a really major project. Now we are a team of what, like more than 10 engineers?
Phil's always thinking about both our current state and ways he can improve the day-to-day, but he also understands where we need to be in 2025 or 2030.
He's a great mentor. He's someone that made it possible for the whole team to grow into the roles they want to be in.
It's been interesting to watch, I'll say, myself scale in that way. Having a task that we need to accomplish and being able to work with someone on accomplishing that, and then being able to jump over and help someone else with another problem that we're trying to solve. And then at the end of the week, you're seeing that 4 or 5 problems were solved as opposed to the one that I would have been able to do myself. I love working in a space where I'm helping people become a better version of themselves.
I'm Phil Connaughton, and I'm a Trailblazer.
All right. And to bring Philip's story to life, please welcome Zane Turner, Principal Developer Evangelist. Take it away, Zane.
Woo! Thank you, Parker. Hello, Trailhead DX. Everyone here, downstairs, online. It is awesome to be here with you. But I need you to take a deep breath because we have to have a difficult conversation. We need to talk about integration. And I know you're all thinking timelines that can stretch on to unknown places and systems that we don't control and how difficult integration really is. But that's why we're talking about the work that Phil and the team at Asics are doing today. And thank you, Phil, who is right here with us. Thank you for talking with us and letting us share your story, because the work that they're doing at Asics is changing the business at Asics. By transforming the way that they're building, they're taking a company started in 1949 that traditionally was selling through wholesale channels and in-store retail, and now they're transforming them into a business that can thrive in a world of e-commerce and customer-centered experience. And they're doing this on a basis of that customer success platform. But Phil and the team at Asics are changing the way that Asics is using this platform. They're creating an Asics 360, whether those are those custom experiences that you get at asics.com, or the deeply integrated apps running behind the scenes and on mobile devices, and we're gonna look at that today. We're gonna look at how you can use the same tools that Asics is using to build amazing experiences. We're gonna look at how you, like Asics, can integrate any app, data, or device with MuleSoft. We're gonna look at what it means to bring data together from across the enterprise, from across different systems into a single, simple API, and how using these APIs can let you build for scale and to handle change, and let you get reusable, discoverable resources that anyone can use, and how you can build all of those integrations securely on the Anypoint platform. But integration is more than just the resources you're building. It's also about the systems that you're creating and getting adoption of these critical APIs. So what if you can empower anyone to create an ecosystem around important APIs that you're building? Well, we're gonna get a first look today at the brand new MuleSoft API Community Manager. Now this Community Manager, oh yes, you're gonna love it, because this Community Manager lets you take resources that you're building in MuleSoft and publish that information into a Salesforce community. With just a few clicks, now you can open up this community to partners and internal teams, people who need that information the most. And you can customize that experience with the power of a Salesforce community. And we're gonna see that in action. But integration isn't just about the systems. It isn't just about the ecosystem. What if it could also be about experiences? What if you could bring entire experiences into the apps that you're building? Well, we're gonna look at how you can deliver commerce experiences everywhere, just like they're doing at Asics with the Salesforce Commerce Platform. Now, the Commerce Platform spans that same platform range that we all know and expect, the right tool for the right job. So we can look at smarter storefronts with Einstein, those reference architectures and templates that let you stand up storefronts with just clicks really quickly. But if you have existing assets, you can power shopping anywhere at the API level, a whole range of APIs letting you get at inventory and products and pricing and orders, and we're gonna look at that. And new today you can build any kind of commerce app quickly with the new Heroku solution kits for commerce. This means web apps, mobile apps, in-store commerce at your fingertips with a solution kit. So I want to bring all of this together, different systems, ecosystems, experiences, in a demo inspired by the work that Asics, powered by Phil and his team, are doing today and their vision for the future. Are you ready for this? All right, Renee and Helder, we have some work to do. So we're going to start here in Salesforce because Asics service agents often need to help customers find the right kind of shoe. And we're building a shoe finder to help them do that. So as we get into it, you can see the shoe finder helps agents gather the right information, the style of shoe someone wants, where they're going to run in those shoes, how much they're going to run, and even special things about the way that they're running. So when they click Show Shoes, we see sample data, because maybe I should have mentioned we're in a developer environment. The shoe finder needs to pull information from a variety of external systems together to actually make that recommendation. So I want to take a look at what's happening behind the scenes with this shoe finder. So we're looking at some Apex code. Who remembers Apex? Yeah. So this is a back-end code controlling how the shoe finder is going to call for information. And line 6 is really the important part, because we're calling one endpoint. One endpoint, one call. That's how the shoe finder is expecting to get all that information. And we're going to build that one endpoint with MuleSoft. So let's go take a look. So this is the Anypoint platform. This is a web-based UI that lets you get at different pieces of MuleSoft functionality. So that management center lets you keep an eye on your production-deployed APIs and integrations. Or if we scroll down, you're going to see an exchange, an entire ecosystem of pre-built connectors that let you start integrating really quickly. But I want us to go into that design center. This is where you're going to spend your time building your integration projects. And we have a few different projects started, and I want to go into that shoe finder API. So this part of the design center is where you're going to work on API specifications, those endpoints that you need for your applications. And we're starting our shoe finder API with a single endpoint, a find shoes endpoint. We're designing it to take information via post request. So as that information comes in, let's see what kind of information we're expecting. It's all that information coming from the shoe finder, the style of shoe that someone wants, how far they're running, all of that information. And in this same screen, we can design the kind of response we want to send back from our find shoes endpoint. And we had that sample data in Salesforce because right here on the same screen, we're going to enable a mocking service. So you can build against your design as you define it before any of the systems you actually need to integrate with are ready to go. So we did that. And that's how we add our sample data. But now we need to take this design, and we need to make a real integration. So let's go into a different part of the design center. This is a Mule application. This is where you can design your real integrations. So fans of Process Builder, Flow Builder, you should recognize this kind of environment. This is where you're assembling integrations. Yes, Bonnie, I'm with you. This is amazing. It's an incredibly powerful interface that lets you drag and drop integrations together. So we have 4 different pieces powering this integration. We have an HTTP listener. We're going to listen to calls to that find shoes endpoint. And then the second card is an API call. Another API we can build with MuleSoft. This API is called Search All Brands because Asics has dozens of different brands. So in this one call, that Search All Brands API can then do a ton of work for us, calling dozens of different brand-specific APIs all together in one call for us. Then we're going to call Commerce Cloud Inventory APIs because we want to give customers shoes that are actually available to purchase. And then we'll bring it all together here at the end in a data weave. This lets you transform all that information from all these different systems into a single, simple format that your app can use. You see right here, it's a drag and drop interface. You can control the mapping and see exactly what's going to happen. We get an output of the data that we would send back right there so you can see it before you deploy it. We've designed our app, and it's running. So now we can grab a new URL right here. This is our actual integration URL. So now I want to go back into Salesforce, and we're going to change the named credential that's controlling how our shoe finder is getting information. So we're going to get rid of our mock data endpoint. We're putting in our real application endpoint. And now I want to go back to the shoe finder. We're going to go back through, and we'll choose, Renee, let's do the same values this time. Same style, the same sort of surface, same distance, and the same stride. And this time, when we hit Show Shoes, data from multiple systems right here in Salesforce. We didn't even refresh the screen. We just changed to our real API, and that's the power of MuleSoft. So this API is doing more than making our shoe finder completely awesome. It's also solving a really common business problem at Asics. A customer needs to know what kind of shoe makes sense for them. So I want to go into the app launcher, and we're going to go into that API Community Manager tab. This is that brand new MuleSoft API Community Manager. And here, when it's loaded, we're going to get a list of all those APIs that we're building in MuleSoft. And at the top, you see our Shoe Finder API. And what I can do right here, with one click, let's publish this API. This means we can make information about it available in a Salesforce community. So I want to show you what this community can look like in action. This Asics API community is designed for internal teams at Asics, but it could be designed for customers, for partners, anyone who needs to know about those resources that you're building. You can bring them all together in one connected place in this community. And here, we can see popular APIs right here in a carousel, and our shoe finder is here. So let's learn more. And as we navigate to this page, we're seeing in-depth documentation, the specification for how to use this API, how to authenticate. This documentation is built in MuleSoft. It lives in MuleSoft, but we're seeing it here in a Salesforce community because of those components that are surfacing this information. And because we're in a Salesforce community, we can make this page even better. Renee, let's go into Community Builder. And that right-hand side of the screen is a little bare. So I want to add the ability to collaborate onto this page. So he's searching for chatter components. We could create a forum right here, right next to the documentation, let people ask questions, exchange best practices. We could add custom Lightning Web components to the page. We could integrate with Service Cloud and let people file cases. All of this right here alongside this important information. Now that we've made our changes on the page, let's preview them. See exactly what it will look like. I think this looks pretty good. So let's go back into the builder, exactly. And now we're going to publish this. And with just 2 or 3 clicks, we've completely customized what can be hard to find, hard to understand, right here in our API community. So now we've built an integration that brings together different systems. We're bringing together people around these APIs. But what if we could bring entire experiences together? I want to go back to MuleSoft because I want to show you this at a high level. So we're looking again at another Mule app, and now we have 5 different pieces put together. And this app is a lot like our Shoe Finder one. We're going to begin with an HTTP listener, and then, because it's a purchasing endpoint, we're going to extract payment information. That's sometimes helpful when you're making a purchase. And then we're going to call more Commerce Cloud APIs, but this time those are open commerce APIs to actually make the transaction happen. And then after we've made our purchase, we're going to take information about the purchaser and the product and start them on a custom journey in Marketing Cloud. It's not a very complex thing from purchase to journey, but what's powerful about this is what it does in action. So I want to actually look at this in action in a mobile application. So let's bring up this mobile app. This is a Runkeeper app that helps us keep track of workouts. And Ashley over here has been kind enough to take my phone on a run for us while I've been talking. So thanks, Ashley. And if you're comfortable, you could go ahead and end your workout. And when Ashley confirms her activity, we're taken to an overview of the workout that I totally just took. And we're getting a notification because I put in a lot of miles on my current pair of shoes. So if we drill into that notice, I'm getting a recommendation for a shoe that might work for me because Runkeeper already knows where I run and how much I run, and it can use our Shoe Finder API to connect me with the right product right here. And now we see that purchasing experience. Let's check out right now with Apple Pay. I don't even have to interrupt my workout. Our cool down is continuing. And before I'm even done stretching, I get a confirmation the right shoe is coming to me. And that's the power of that whole experience, from purchase to now I'm on a custom journey in Marketing Cloud. And all of this, those unified APIs, those connected experiences, are ways you can completely rethink what it means to build an integrated app when you build on Salesforce. So where can you learn more? Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, right here, you can go deep with MuleSoft. Get behind the scenes on all of the integration we just showed. You can also follow that short link, and you're going to get hands-on with the trail mix, covering the concepts we talked about today. And downstairs at the campground, you're going to get to explore the Asics 360 in depth yourself. And with all of this, back to you, Parker.
All right, woo! All right, great job, Zane. That was awesome. All right, let's see who's tweeted. Hashtag code goals. Guillermo's excited. Guillermo's ready to integrate, and you can learn more later downstairs about MuleSoft. It's incredible. All right, so let's walk through what we've done. We learned with Angela. That was an incredible story. We innovated with Stephanie. That was also incredible. And we integrated with Phil. 3 amazing stories. But, you know, at Salesforce, we don't like to end with just telling you what we just did. We like to end with a little surprise. So with this, I'd like to bring each of you up on the stage. If you could come up. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know this. Oh, surprise! Come on up. Don't worry. And Sarah, could you come up, please? We're going to have a little golden hoodie moment for all your innovation, for all your integration, for all your learning. You guys are really inspirational. So congratulations.
And you get one too.
All right. Okay, don't go anywhere. Okay. All right, so we had an amazing show, right, Sarah?
Oh, it's been incredible.
It's been incredible. But we're not done. We're taking it on the road.
Yes, we're
And
going.
I don't know how you're doing this, but I'm doing the slide, but we're taking it to 150 locations.
Yeah, we're packaging up the best, and
Check
we're
it out.
taking it around the world to
How-
150 locations.
So hopefully you have enough employees to do 150 events, because that
Gotta get
is
some
a
head
lot.
count?
Yeah. Well, no head count. You're amazing.
Well, so the thing is, these people, our Trailblazers, you are the people that are so amazing. And so around the world, we're packaging up the best of Trailhead DX and giving it to all of you to spread it out to everyone to help you all learn together.
Wow, talk about empowered. Thank you for joining that. But that's not all.
No, we have one more thing.
We also, where's Brett Taylor? There's Brett Taylor, our President of Product, Chief Product Officer.
He doesn't know this either.
He doesn't know this either. But if you think this Trailhead DX was awesome, please join Brett Taylor in December in India, in Bengaluru, December 19th to 20th. Save the date, Trailhead DX India for the first time ever. Thank you, Brett. And with that, thank all of you. Enjoy the rest of the show. Good job.